In this video, I'm going to share how I made this 9-piece mirrored wall decor set using all Dollar Tree products. I love this wall decor piece. I think it turned out so great. I broke this DIY down into 5 easy steps, and I'm going to share some things that I learned along the way and what I would do different to help make your project a little easier, as well as some options you may want to try. So for this project, you will need 9 of the square 5x5 mirrors from Dollar Tree and 9 of the 3.5 by 5 picture frames from Dollar Tree. So I start by removing the backing from all the picture frames, and then I take the frames apart. Now I have a video showing more details on how to take the frames apart without breaking them. If you need to see that video, I'll leave it in the description box for you. I also remove the metal brackets holding these together with pliers, and be sure to leave the tabs around the sides of the picture frames for this project. These are the metal pieces that holds the backing into place. I need to make sure all these pieces fit. I can cut them, which I'm going to show you the easiest way that doesn't require any measuring, or you can buy double frames and only use the short sides of the picture frames. Cut mine to fit. Now, some of you have seen this on my channel before. It's been a while, but this is a miter box, and these are in every hardware store. Even the small town shops will have these. Miter boxes cost anywhere from like a couple of dollars up to $5, and it does most all the work for you. I never measured anything for this entire project. I laid the longer piece on the bottom and the shorter piece on the top inside of the miter box. And then I line both of them up at the end, and then I bring them up to the angled slit. I insert my saw blade, and now, I make my cut. Now, I love this for several reasons. And plus, for $2, you really can't beat it. It saves so much time and, for me, materials. So once all those were all one size, once all my picture frame pieces are one size, I glue them together to make the perfect square. I gave that a few minutes to sit, and then I started placing my 5x5 mirrors inside. Then I took the backing and the filler that came with the picture frames, and I cut all those with a pair of scissors, and I put them in the back of the picture frame. Since I'm going to hang these, I go ahead and I rip the stand off of the back of the cardboard, and then I fold my tabs down, securing the backing and the mirror into place, and I repeat this 8 more times. I wanted to give my mirrors a little more texture, depth, so I made a little design with some adhesive diamond wrap, and I just cut the bling into a single strip, and then I cut those off into rows of 5, and then I placed them all around in kind of like a circular shape. Next, I just wanted to go ahead and conceal any flaws that I may have where my frames connect together. Plus, it kind of adds that much more bling, and I love that. So I went with Jot Gems. Now all the prepping is finished and the decorating is done, so it's time to put our beautiful wall decor piece together. So you're going to need some craft sticks, and these are the larger craft sticks. Again, you can find these at Dollar Tree. I used the small mirrors from this mirrored picture frame, and again, it's from Dollar Tree. And if your Dollar Tree doesn't have these, no worries. I have the perfect solution for you. I've been looking for these for months, so I know. Believe me, I know, and I have no problem admitting I had a Fred Sanford moment when I happened upon these. Okay, so you can substitute the small mirrors that I'm using with mirrored finish tongs that are in the wedding section. And these are pretty close to the same width to the mirrors that I'm using. And for a clean cut, I would personally use a hacksaw, but you can totally use a hot knife if you happen to have one. So I cut some tongs just to show you guys. I've had a couple of these in my craft box for a very, very long time. They are seriously scratched because I threw the little plastic cover away. I'm going to show you a set that is still in the package. I'm going to pull it out, it's less damaged, so you can kind of see the comparison and you'll know what to expect. I figured something out, and I'm going to show you guys something at the end that kind of makes me wish I had went with these instead of the mini mirrors or the smaller mirrors. You'll need 6 of these picture frames with the mirrors or 6 tongs. Next, I laid out my mirrors in the design that I'm going to create into 3 rows of 3. And I start placing my smaller mirrors in between each frame to get an idea of what this is going to look like. And once I'm happy with the position of everything, I flip my mirrors over and I start gluing each mirror to the center of my craft stick with epoxy and hot glue. I made a bridge with my craft stick centering each of the small mirrors on there from frame to frame, gluing each end of the craft stick on the back of the picture frames. The end or edges of the small bridge mirrors, I guess that's what I need to call them because I have mirror frame mirrors and then these small mirrors. The end or the edges of the small bridge mirrors or tongs, whichever one you use, will be touching up against the sides of the frames. I needed to add some support to each end of my craft sticks and make them just a little bit thicker. So I snipped or trimmed off some small pieces of other craft sticks and then I glued them to the ends of the craft sticks that I am gluing to the back of the picture frames. I hope that makes sense. Next, I added some mini screws through each end of the wooden craft sticks and through the picture frames. Now, this is real wood, so it will crack. Be sure not to use very big screws. Once all those were screwed in, I went back with hot glue, just adding, some extra glue into random places and, just where I thought it would or could be helpful. So I let this sit for about an hour or two just to make sure the glue, is setting and is grabbing. So now it's time to hang this. Now you can either do what I'm about to show you, or you can totally skip the screwing all this together and hang each one of these up as a single and line them up on your wall so it looks like one complete set. You could use like command strips. I'm going to roll that extra footage. Before I do, I have some mirrors that I laid on a piece of foam board, and one of them is not an actual mirror. So I'm going to put a little clock up in the corner for those who want to try this. At first glance, can you pick out the one that is not an actual mirror? So, did you get it right? If you want, you can let me know down in the comments. I think that these are very comparable, especially because the width is pretty close. If you wanted, you could cut just a little bit shorter pieces and get 4 mirror pieces out of every pair of tongs. Now, I think that for this project, using the mirrored finish tongs is absolutely perfect. I think the results would be much stronger and durable. You also wouldn't need to mess with any craft sticks, so it really kind of cuts out on an extra step. The most important thing is I hope that you found this idea helpful, and even if you don't make this project, maybe you're inspired to try something with these tongs. So hey, I love you guys and I really appreciate you again. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon in another project.